Someone asked me once, what do you think the impact Larry has had on our county? And I said, well, Larry's had an impact on our county, our state, but it starts farther back than working at the county and state level. Jackson Township as a school board member, as the Jackson Township supervisor, and moving on to increasingly more and more important roles that he played in the elected positions that he held.
The biggest impact Larry has had in my mind has been that he's put Will County on the map in Washington, D.C. From the White House to the Congress, legislators and policymakers know where Will County is and the critical role Will County plays in our national economy. And that was all because of Larry's efforts, his leadership, his advocacy, his hard work, and his many friendships.
When he walks into a room, everyone knows Larry Walsh. Whether you're in Springfield or Washington, elected officials on both sides of the aisle have great respect and admiration for Larry Walsh. And that's because he cares about getting it done.
I first met Larry Walsh over 20 years ago when we started the Joliet Arsenal redevelopment project. He was a state senator and he helped us with our initial funding from the state of Illinois. Over the years, I've built a great friendship with Larry, and I respect him for his overall experience in government. Having been a former elected official myself, I certainly can appreciate how he is able to work with everyone. Everywhere you go, he interacts with people, at the highest level to people walking along the street, and he treats everyone the same with respect.
The thing about Larry is, while he's an elected official, I think more importantly, he's a public servant, and he's recognized that. And I think people have recognized that in him. And his legacy will be as a shining example of what a public servant is, not just an elected official, but someone who serves the people.
Larry always supported the community in every way. We worked together on Elwood Community Days for a couple decades, and he was always very supportive. He was Grand Marshal many times, but whether it was setting up the beer tent or tearing things down in any way, shape, or form, Larry was always there to help.
Larry is as genuine a person as you can ever want. If he says he's going to do something for you, he will. If you need something, he will point you in the right direction if he doesn't know it.
He's created an environment that people want to participate in and want to further improve who we are and what we do as a county.
What I remember Larry for is his integrity and just the way he put people at ease when you're dealing with him. Just an uncommon kind of ability to do that. You don't find that in a lot of people.
One thing I will always remember is when he passed legislation to designate popcorn as a state snack. The idea came from a group of students in the district when he visited their school. Not only did he take the time to pass the legislation, but to also invite the class to the Senate when it came up for a vote and the bill passed. The look on the kids' faces sitting up in that gallery, it was priceless. The lessons learned that day, I am sure, will have a lifelong impact on those students, and the time and effort that he took for them is a reflection of the type of public servant that Larry is.
When he was given the award as the Distinguished Citizen of Will County by the Rainbow Council, the Boy Scouts, the Scouts now, he came with his grandchildren, or at least a lot of them. It was so touching, really very affectionate. Family was there, very supportive, celebrating clearly and very affirming, but the kids came up with him. And that said everything to me about his values, his family-centeredness, and his love for those who were closest in his life.
He is a guy who really does know what family is and really and truly is involved with the family. And we all look up to him.
Personally, I think the biggest impact is the kids that he's raised. I think we've all been successful. We've got our kids now who are moving in that direction too. Hopefully, I've got a son who's in college and, 2 more on the way. But I think just him and Mom instilling some good, strong values in us, I think that's going to be his best legacy.
So there are a lot of stories I could tell about Larry. One I really enjoy is on the baseball field downtown Joliet about 12 years ago when we were asked to get into overstuffed sumo wrestling outfits. And we had a 2 out of 3 match, and he beat me. He pinned me 2 out of 3 times, and I will never forget that, by the way, and I want a rematch with Larry. But we had so much fun after we got out of those sumo wrestling outfits, the joy on his face. We took a picture, and I love the picture. It shows us arm in arm, and just, that friendship and that joy. And that really sums up who Larry is.
One of my fondest memories is a series of woo-woo events that occurred at the house. Larry, you know what I'm talking about, so I'll just leave it at that.
But I'll never forget the first time Larry came to Washington after he was county executive. And after a long day of meetings on the Hill, at the White House, and a lot of the federal agencies, we went out to dinner. The waiter came over, and the first thing he did was take a drink order. Larry looked up and said, "I'd have a PBR." And the waiter looked back at him and said, "I'm sorry, sir, what is that?" And Larry said, "You mean to tell me they don't have PBR in Washington, D.C.?
When Larry was starting in his public service years, I was just in grade school. I was still a kid. He would come by, and when it was time for me to get to the bus to go to high school, he would come and pick me up every morning and take me to the bus stop and wait with me.
One of my favorite experiences with Larry Walsh was what we called crop tours. A group of us would get together, take a ride to the various parts of Will County, Kankakee County, Grundy County, and Larry would talk to the locals and talk about things like rainfall and yield. And then obviously in the car along the way, he's talking about the crops and how they look. And, it was a great experience. I learned a lot about farming on those crop tours.
When I was first elected highway commissioner in 1977, he would always work with me, and mostly on plowing snow. And we always went out at 3 a.m. So if I would call at 3 a.m. or 2:45, said, "Larry, we're going plowing, you ready?" He said he would be there. In 15 minutes, he'd be down to the garage ready to go. We had a road grader and we had a 6-wheeler truck. And that's what we plowed with, that's what we built roads with. We did everything with that. Couldn't afford salt to put on roads, so we would get free cinders over at Olin Chemical or ComEd. We couldn't afford a spreader to spread the cinders, so we found 2 fools to spread these cinders, and it happened to be Larry and myself. And if you can picture Larry up in the top of this pile of cinders, and he and I were throwing cinders out on the roadway as the truck went slowly down the road.
Irene and Larry and my wife and I would often go to dinner, and we went to this Italian restaurant. This restaurant was really good in terms of putting out these very heavily garlic rolls, and they had a nice basket where we'd be able to share. And after a while, we'd always have to ask for a second basket. After a while, going there so frequently, they would bring out 2 baskets, one for Larry and one for us. So I think if Larry had to give something up, being in office or those rolls, I think he'd give up the office and keep the garlic rolls.
Well, Larry, you've been marvelous to this county and this community for 50 years, 5 decades, 16 years in leadership at the county level. Just remarkable. And you've done it your style, which is a style of care and concern for others, affability, leadership certainly, listening carefully, thanking always, and just providing a presence that gave people confidence that someone, a group, you as leader, were really concerned about the common good.
And so for that, and for all the things that Larry has done for all of us in Will County, I would just say thank you and congratulations, and look forward to working on that next big project with you.
So Larry, I want to thank you for your 50 years of public service. Our county and our region is so much better off because of you. And on a personal note, I want to thank you for your friendship and all you've done for me, both as a person and as a leader.
Larry, congratulations on the award you're going to receive tonight. More than deserved. If anyone deserves this award, you do, my friend.
So Larry, from the family, we like to say congratulations on the Award of Excellence. We love you.
Congratulations, Larry, on being honored for your years of public service and hard work. This tribute is so much deserved. Thank you for not only being a great boss, but also for your friendship.
Dad, we love you a lot. This well-deserved, great recognition for all that you've done for, not only us as a family, but the community as a whole. So congratulations.
Congratulations, Larry, on your award. And hey, you've been a great buddy, and thanks.
Larry, I just want to say thank you for the friendship over the years. I've learned a great deal, but I've also enjoyed myself every time I'm with you.
Well, Larry, congratulations on being the recipient of the Brother James Gaffney Award. I'm looking forward to your retirement, actually, so that we can have lunch a little more often.
On behalf of the Joliet Region Chamber of Commerce and Industry, our board of directors and staff, congratulations, Larry, on being named the 2019 Brother James Gaffney Award of Excellence recipient. And thank you, Larry, for 50 years of dedicated service to Joliet and Will County.